And the White is doing a good job just following Overlords over the place. Too many Overlords getting killed there, and that's also, of course, going to let him cloak around and fire. So I think White has, at least at this point, has a serious advantage here. He finally has his... Jaedong finally has the den up, the high-risk den, but I think it's a little bit too late at this point. So many Overlords being taken out by him, so he's just going to have to rebuild a bunch of Overlords instead of getting some drones, maybe, and getting forces. The Mutalisks are flying around, but White doing a good job of always separating his Wraiths when they fly away to retreat. Another barracks now coming down for White, so he might be transitioning into some ground forces as well, and he has an engineering bay on the ground, so it is definitely upgrading. White's could be transitioned into Medic Marines, and as soon as he has that going, he should be able to expand, and at that point, I think he'll be able to shut Jaedong down, because Jaedong just doesn't have enough. He can't really use his minerals for anything else than forces here. If he tries to expand, that's instantly going to make him very, very vulnerable. So, and White's Wraiths, however, are slightly being cleaned up, being chased around, but Jaedong, of course, is just in serious trouble now. We're going to see what Jaedong manages to do. He's definitely going to have to do some serious economic damage to try to get back in this game and prevent that expansion from White from coming up. Scan, meanwhile, coming up from White, so White knows exactly what's going on. First Hydra is now out.
Yeah, this is a very strange game. Light has forced Jaedong to go for Hydralisk, and now he is switching to a ground build. He's going to get a lot of Medic Marines out, I suspect, maybe just Marines, to try to back up his Wraiths. But I think the key point here is Light's still working from one base. I don't think Jaedong is going to let him expand at all, especially with all those Mutalisks out. And with Overlord speed upgraded and Lurkers, I saw a Lurker in there. So this is going to be a very interesting outcome, no matter what happens. There's a lot of economic damage done, but Jaedong still has 2 bases. So I think that might be evening things out a little bit, the fact that he has 2 bases mining. And he's chasing off all these Wraiths, all the Wraiths going down, so Jaedong doing a good job of defending his main there. And now there's a ton of Lurkers out, so Jaedong one step ahead here. He's going to be able to take out that Medic and Marine force. I don't see any signs, but okay, the science facility just now coming out. Oh, the Lurker already snuck in here. Light does scan and get rid of it, though. So that's not going to... But it will keep Light from moving out again. And I think Jaedong's going to camp out here at the natural expansion with Lurkers and just try to keep Light from taking his base as long as he can. You see, he is camping at the ramp there leading out of the natural expansion. And here comes the command center. I'm not sure if Jaedong's going to let that command center go down, though. He might come in with a small force of Lurkers to try to stop it. And he's doing a good job picking off these Wraiths. Just those Wraiths have been hurting his economy a lot, and it's good that he's picking them off. And now the expansion finally coming down for Light. And Light, I think, definitely has enough to defend it with. So Jaedong, I'm not sure what he can do at this point. He has a bunch of Hydras that he could morph into Lurkers. I think the Lurkers would help him get in here and get some damage done. You see he's doing some nice harassment here, picking off SCVs. But he's got to be so careful with these Mutalisks. I mean, he has a very small force because his economy's been whittled down so much. Oh boy, whose game do you think it is, Ranshin?
Well, with Jaedong, we know that there's always a chance of turning around. Scan going off on those workers. They're trying to take out the comset station. Of course, what is very important here is that the Marines have weapons upgrades. They have the weapon 1 upgrade, which means that they kill Mutalisks and turn them into absolute butter. They cut through them like knife through butter. So, hot knife through butter, I believe it said. So yeah, but those Mutalisks are being used pretty well. He's migrating that Overlord a little bit too. More Lurkers now moving in as well. He has a lot of Lurkers, so should be able to accomplish something. Dropships meanwhile out for Light, so we're going to see what that manages there. His main, meanwhile, almost mined out. He's definitely going to need that. He has the bunker there, but that's definitely going to get taken down. And the natural not really mining too well. Jaedong now finally has proper mining going on in both of his bases. And Light is going to go for a drop, actually. We're going to see how successful that is. If he manages to prevent Jaedong from getting his economy that just gotten up, he should be able to do some damage. There is a position there from the back that he should be able to move in if he just takes down that sunken first. I don't know if Jaedong has read this or not. He does have Hydras now moving in to defend that, but no! Light is actually going to go straight for the main. Those Hydras are a little bit late to come in from behind, and now there are Medic Marines in that area. Hydras not moving in on them. Jaedong, I don't know what he's doing right now. He's just going to let... And his Spire is going to go down, so... Okay, what? Okay, Spire does go down. I thought he was, like, going to let that Spire sit there with 1 health. Medic Marines are probably going to get cleaned up. There are enough Hydras, should be, and more Hydras now popping in, so the Medic Marines have done their damage. They took down the Spires. There's going to be no more Mutalisks out, meanwhile, for Jaedong. And meanwhile, he's forced to move back his lurkers, try to defend this. Those medic marines still alive. We're going to see all the drones apparently have been taken out, so that's insane. So perfect timing for the drop from Light. Still, those units still alive. So many medics and those marines now finally going to get cleaned up. 1 marine and 4 medics still alive. Those medics now just going to hug themselves and die. But apparently, no more expansion has been taken down from Jaedong, so we're going to see how this turns out. Looking very, very critical for him. Light apparently having to force to move away his command center. I mean, also Jaedong, that's pretty good for Jaedong. Light you loses 1 dropship there, but he had lurkers in position, which forced Light to take away, float away his command center. They didn't show that right away, so it's Kim's a big surprise to me at least. So that's definitely been prevented. So eye for eye there almost. We're going to see what happens here. Such a game, a little bit back and forth. You'd think Light had the advantage after all that, but seems Jaedong is slowly could be coming back into this game. He's just going to need 1 very big push. He might be even thinking for a drop here. If this is a very good drop, it could be a lot of damage. There are medic marines and science forces. Meanwhile, we're going to see what happens here. Drop is dropping something. And forces being there. 1 overlord dying there from medic marines. Scans going off. Ooh boy, drop now coming in here. Oh my god.
Oh, this is a wild game. I think Light took a little bit too much time getting that natural expansion, but now Light is going into Jaedong's natural expansion. I think they're going to try to destroy each other here. Jaedong is moving in with some Hydras and Lurker Foist, going to try to take out that main. And in the meantime, Light is coming in here with Science Vessels, so he's going to be able to see the Lurkers at the natural expansion, but he's completely abandoned his main. I hope he starts floating some buildings soon, because he's going to need to keep those buildings out of harm's way. So he can take out Jaedong. I think Jaedong had some lurkers at his choke of his main. Uh-oh, Light looks like he might be going back to defend his main with that group. I don't know if this is the right decision for him to make, because I think his main is pretty much doomed at this point. I think he should try to take out Jaedong, but I don't think he is. I think he's going to run back with his medic and marine force. Yeah, he's doing that right now. Going to try to defend what little is left of his main. And Jaedong is putting lurkers right at the choke, so he's not going to let any medic marines go back there. Oh, this is looking terrible for Light. Light has literally no mining right now. Literally. And his main is almost completely mined out anyway. And he's just floating stuff all over the place. His command center is just floating off somewhere. And now Jaedong is trying to go down the map to end this, but Light does intercept him. Intercepts his lurkers, going to make sure the lurkers can't burrow. And Jaedong retaking his natural expansion. This has been a very low game as far as the amount of expansions go. And Jaedong is still in the main, taking out buildings. Light is landing his barracks around, but man, he's finally getting some mining done there, but it's only from 1 base again. Jaedong is still mining from almost mining from 2 bases again. And there's another force from Light coming into the natural expansion. I'm not sure what Light's thinking about here with the D-Matrix. Wow, 4 D-Matrixes. So Light's going in with tons of D-Matrix breeds. He's going to try to take out this force from Jaedong, but oh man, there's lurkers in here. Hydras aren't very good against Marines, but lurkers definitely are. This is, oh no, GG from Light. Epic game. What are your thoughts on that game, Ranshin?
Jaedong just managed to... That drop in the end was very, very critical. That's pretty much what let him win the game there. Because especially inside the main were all the supply depots. He had it, Light still had his barracks, but without supply depots you can't really reinforce. He would have had to take like a minute to rebuild all the supply depots, and with the loss of that, that was it. No supply, no forces. What are you going to do? GG.
Definitely GG. We will be moving on to the second set right now.